going to be talking about the intended and emergent approaches. There are various types of strategies that a business will use when structuring and implementing plans on their company. As Porter defines, strategy is the creation of a unique and valuable position involving a different set of activities. As the first steps taken during strategic planning, theorised by Hart, goals are deducted from a vision and a strategy is planned. As this is then identified as an intended approach, which is, an intended strategy is a strategy that an organisation hopes to execute, said by Smith. The following factors that will be considered during the process of an intended approach is PESTLE, Porter's 5 forces, and the competences internally and externally. The capabilities of the organisation will be considered whilst understanding and persisting with the social culture of the environment. Once the plan has been produced, it would be presented to the stakeholders, thus informing them of the SWOT and the TOEs of the intended approach. The final decision would be made and then implemented on the business. The constraints about the intended approach, as argued by Hart, is that strategic planning gives managers almost no help in gaining insight about the future. It is a passive approach that does not actively engage the future, and it can be detrimental to managing the future when the plans are too rigid. This was also agreed by Gordon Quinn, saying that decisions are often messy and political, and the ideal approach is to be flexible to take advantage of new opportunities. However, Hart argued that it is a well-structured approach, and additionally Ansoff also agreed with it, saying it promotes to be a systematic measure, as it can also be measured, allowing a business to estimate future actions or potential emergent strategies that will occur. As an emergent strategy, as defined by Jerry Johnson, is that strategies emerge on the basis of a series of decisions which a pattern becomes clear over time. The approach is flexible to time in the environment as it adapts, and it is driven by an external forces that is not predictable. This approach will be regarded during a whole strategic process. However, this is confusing and unstructured strategy and can result in an organisation lacking strategic direction. The benefits of emergent strategy is that it's flexible and innovative. It allows a company to adapt to the environment and provides new opportunities and shows that people matter. However, the constraints is that it will have no structure and it can't be delivered to stakeholders as a strategic plan, and there will be no measurable effect on the plan. As defined by Nagan, Hamburg and Chatham, major intended and emergent initiatives taken by general managers on behalf of the owner involving a utilisation of resources to enhance the performance of the firms in their external environments. This definition shows that if a business is wanting to utilise their resources, it is best to use both approaches, as it would also prepare for future influences. Agreed by Brown and Hart. As argued, successful firms link the present and the future together, arguing that emergent and intended approach should both be used by a business, as it would lead to a successful strategic planning process. As Mitzberg furthermore agrees, noting that few, if any, strategies are purely deliberate, just as few as purely emergent. One means no learning, the other one means no control. All real-world strategies need to mix these up in some way to exercise control whilst fostering learning. This shows that both approaches are so different, they will complement each other from providing learning to the business from the emergent approach and the control from the intended approach. However, using both approaches may not require a placid environment. Thank you.
For Jessica's presentation, then I will talk about which approaches is more suitable for the apples. There are many factors which suggest one approach is more suitable than the others. For the organization context, like type, size, complexity for the company, and for the external context, dynamic market, technology intensity of competition is included. For Apple, the emergent approach is more suitable than the intended approach. For the key factors are type, dynamic market, and technology. First, I will talk about the type. Emergent strategy is an ongoing approach and strategy over time. It is suited for Apple, which is an innovation type company, and it launches new products every year. Like this year, Apple launched iPhone 6s, iPhone 6s Plus, and iPad Pro, which improved in their iPhone and iPad. Second is the dynamic market, like marketing for phone and computer. There are lots of new products from different companies to bargain the market every year. Apple had Mac and used Apple II to get lots of marketing share of computer marketing, and but with Windows launch, Apple's market share was decreased to 2%, which means market is always change. So Apple needs a flexible strategy like emergent approach. Last one is technology. There are many different new technologies be used in products to influence the market, like the new products iPhone 6s, iPhone 6s Plus, and Apple Watch this year. They are all used a new technology, tech engine in the 3D touch to attract more customers. But Apple Watch sales was not good. It means the new technology for market is uncertain. Like emergent approach can be confused and muddied, so it is suited for Apple. For this, we can see Apple is more suitable emergent approach than intended approach. In this approach, Apple can have flexible strategy plan which can suit its uncertain market in competition with others, and new technology means unknown in the market. When Apple confused and modeled cost of its new products, emergent approach can help it to change a new strategy quickly.
Working towards improving Apple's internal environment is much more realistic as it is more controllable and predictable than the external environment, since it has to do more with actual business actions rather than uncontrollable political and economic factors. We can, though, identify the strengths and improve on them while spotting the weaknesses and either diminishing them or converting them into a strength. For example, one of Apple's main strengths is their marketing power, so they can continue to increase their budget to further stabilize the brand loyalty their current customers already hold. At the same time, Apple's main weaknesses or weakness is their high prices of their products. So to remove the problem, what they could do is work towards cutting down costs of production because this will enable them to sell their products for a lower price whilst not missing out on any profit. The summary of this video presentation is mainly to display how suitable the emergent and intended approaches to Apple's strategic management are. The research and analysis of this project tells us about the characteristics, benefits and drawbacks of the emergent and intended strategic approaches, whilst at the same time deciding that both approaches can and should be used by Apple. This decision is reliable through the use of our academic theories from figures such as Ansoff and Einshart. We think that both approaches have their own unique benefits and own unfortunate drawbacks, so to make use of just one of them would be slightly backwards. Depending on the specific situation, both must be allowed to enable flexibility in strategic management and strategic moves of the company Apple.